Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Great to have you here on our weekend Cabral HouseCalls, answering all of our community's questions each and every weekend for the past 6 years or so here on the Cabral concept. Hopefully, you've been enjoying the show. Truly appreciate your reviews, your support, your downloads, your listens, your shares. We truly appreciate it. So what I'd love to be able to do is we are here to answer your questions. And you know that whenever you have a question, I am happy to answer it. The fastest way to get that question answered is by going to cabralsupportgroup.com. It is a free private Facebook group. Even if you don't use Facebook like I do, you can still use these private groups in order to be able to ask your questions and get answers from our team. So I would definitely check that out. Plus, you'll get all of the support of well over 13,000 people now inside of that group from all over the world, and you can ask questions right inside. So that's a lot of fun. If you're willing to wait the 6 to 8 weeks for your question to be answered live on the show, always happy to do that at stevencabral.com/ask Cabral. All right, let's dive into your questions here today. The first question coming in, and again, I literally just opened the document as I go to answer your question. So just know that this is not meant to give you a diagnosis, a medical diagnosis, a medical treatment plan, or cure. I give you what I feel based on working with many hundreds of thousands of people in our practice that might have similar conditions. So let's do that. So the first question today is from Caroline. Caroline says, I've worked with a functional medicine practitioner for a year and a half to heal my H. pylori infection. To treat H. pylori, I use biocidin, bio-HPF, triple probiotics for 2 months. Now I take other products and probiotics daily and have no symptoms. However, if I stop the bio-HPF, the symptoms come back within a day or two. I'm now interested in antibiotics, but scared of long-term effects. Do you ever feel like there are cases in need of antibiotics? Is there a deeper reason I am not fully treating H. pylori? I take HCl with meals to help with digestion and have no stomach pain, but is it better to avoid while treating H. pylori? Okay, so first of all, I have to give you the medical disclaimer. We do not treat any type of medical-based disease, and medical-based disease, H. pylori is covered under one of those medical-based diseases. So I almost never can look up a product on a website, but I'm looking up this product. We don't use whatever the one is that you're talking about, but the good news is inside of the one that you're taking, it has mastic gum. The only issue is that you're most likely not getting the dosage that you need. So how we work with rebalancing the body is we're doing the CBO protocol plus citracetyl drops plus mastic gum when people come with these particular conditions. The second issue that I want to make sure is that you actually have H. pylori, because you may not have H. pylori, but you might have other issues such as a gastric ulcer, such as acid reflux, such as inflammation of the stomach mucosa. It could be lower esophageal sphincter-based issues. It could be other issues. So I recommend for you to run the bacteria and parasite stool test, and you can find that at stevencabral.com/labs, and it comes with the full consultation and protocol we would give you, and it will tell you if you have H. pylori. Now, it doesn't mean you need to stop working with this practitioner, but this is one more thought process you could go through with our team after running this lab. All right, so I'm going to keep it at that, and I give you what we do, and I gave you the labs, and I gave you how to even do a follow-up after that. All right, I can't tell you about the HCl. I wouldn't use HCl if someone had H. pylori, but of course, if they don't, then I would if it was a protein-based meal and they felt like they had weakened digestion. All right. Seems like to me we need to do a little bit deeper digging on this particular issue to really know what's going on. All right, Lisa's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Thanks for sharing so much great information. My question is about my granddaughter, 3 years old, been diagnosed with enamel hypoplasia, soft enamel. By the time you read this, she will have undergone surgery to put crowns on several of her teeth due to widespread decay. Her pediatric dentist says it's due to my daughter having some fever during pregnancy at the time of the baby's teeth were forming, and that there's nothing could be done. The dentist said my granddaughter will have soft enamel and will probably end up with lots of crowns or implants, possibly false teeth. My daughter is beside herself. She feels it's her fault. She provides good dental care, brushing, no processed foods, no fruit juice. I'm in school for nutritional therapy. Learned a great deal. I'm not sure how to help my daughter. She's a picky eater. Okay, I get it. Obviously, these are not great things that we like to hear. I think there could very well be a lot of validity to the cause of the enamel hypoplasia. However, we do know how good bone is formed. And at 3 years old, we have an opportunity now at 6 years, 7 years old, when a child first really starts losing their teeth, to be able to make sure now that the bones and the teeth come in healthy and strong as well. And we can keep hope for that, right? We can keep hope. There's no reason not to have a lot of hope, right? So let's make sure that at least at 4 years old, that this child, when they're 30 plus pounds, they start taking one daily activated multi a day or a half a scoop of daily nutritional support every day, not more than that, just a small amount, in order to get more of those vitamins and minerals in their body. Now, that's on top of, though, them already making sure there's no gut issues. They could do that through organic acid testing if they want, which is our Candida metabolic and vitamins test. Just make sure there's no other issues. And again, a good, healthy, whole food diet. Don't be afraid of fruit. And fruit and veggies and good protein, you need it all, right? You need all the good nutrients. And then the vitamin C, the vitamin D, the zinc, everything that helps with those good, strong, healthy bones. All right. Darren is up next. Good day, Dr. Cabral. We appreciate all you do. Thank you, Darren and everyone. May seem like a trivial question, and I'm not putting you on the spot to promote any brand, but when you highlight the benefits of apple cider vinegar, you typically talk about Bragg's. Would you like to know if I would like to know if there are other brands like Vermont Village, Heinz, Dynamic are also good to use given their USDA organic, GMP, non-GMO, and contain the mother too. Okay, so I'll give you my thoughts on this. One is when I find a brand I like, I'm pretty loyal to it, meaning like Bragg's was one of the originals. They've done so much great work. I think they're pretty trustworthy. And so I just recommend Bragg's. No, but that doesn't mean you need to use Bragg's. However, I get a little leery about companies like Heinz that are publicly traded companies that are always trying to cut corners in order to make more profit. Now, having said that, though, Heinz has created a new division of their company to work with or purchase other natural health-based brands that they said they're going to allow to grow as natural health-based brands and not mess with them. Like Primal is one of them, right? So Primal got bought, Primal Kitchen, Primal, all the different sauces and condiments company. They got bought by Heinz, but they said they're going to allow them to stay a health company. So I don't know the other ones that you spoke about. You need to look for organic, yes. GMP, yes. Non-GMO, yes. But anything that's organic is automatic. Anything that's organic is automatically non-GMO. So just a little tip there. And then unprocessed and unfiltered, you need to look for too, so that they have the mother. So when you look at the bottom of a bottle, I'm holding a spring water bottle here. And in the bottom should be all these little flakes. It kind of looks kind of nasty. And that's called a mother. That is actually what you need to make sure that's in there. So I'll let you do the digging, but if it's non-processed, non-filtered, organic, the other brands might be great too. All right, Luan's up next. Hello, Dr. Paul. I hope all is well with you today. Do you have any insight into why my face gets very red when I exercise compared to the rest of my body? This has happened even when I was a little kid, and even when I was young and in very good shape running track and cross country. It also happens to my son, who is and has always been very athletic. Thank you, Lou. All right, so this is not uncommon at all. Like I've seen this, well, quite a bit. There's typically no health issue or harm whatsoever. So I just kind of want to put that in there, right? Can't give you a medical diagnosis, but it typically is no harm, no issue whatsoever. The flushing, though, can be from the body bringing more blood flow and circulation to the overall extremities, and the cheeks which are showing that as well. Now, you might not see it on your arms, which is very rare for you to see flushing on your arms. It can happen with extreme food sensitivities, etc., but it's more likely to happen in the face. There are other reasons. One, if the body starts to become overwhelmed, which it certainly doesn't sound like in your case, two things can happen. The cheeks can get flushed from a parasympathetic standpoint, or they can go white. All the blood's being pulled out to the core. That's a parasympathetic response as well, but that's more in the like vagal nerve-based issue, vagal tone. I've talked about this before, polyvagal nerve theory, which is essentially the freeze-based stage, okay? Face goes white, right? It just goes like colors out of the face. Regardless of skin pigmentation color, right? It just gets lighter overall. And the third case is that some people, when they go in a sauna or they exercise, have a histamine response, which then enables or allows or causes flushing of the face and sometimes tingling as well. So it might be other reasons as well. Those are three that I just named. I don't think it's probably the second one. The first one could be normal circulation. Sometimes people with lighter skin get that flushing. Sometimes more of the kapha body type gets that flushing. And then it could be a histamine issue as well. And that's for people that are typically sensitive to their environment, to foods, etc. They can see that histamine issue, and that can be corrected as well through gut-based healing. So hopefully that was helpful, Lou. All right, Brooke is up next. Brooke says, hello, my son is almost 3. About 6 months ago, he had giardia. We gave him what was prescribed, and he cleared up. Since then, however, whenever he gets overtired or off schedule for a day, the next day he has diarrhea. We had him retested, and he tested negative for giardia, but positive for leukocytes in his stool. Do you have any thoughts on what it may be or what the best protocol to help little guys would be? Thank you so much for your time. 100%. So it's not abnormal. It's not uncommon. Whenever you take anything into your body, there's going to be repercussions. Not necessarily negative, but there are repercussions, right? So for example, if I take a lot of zinc for a long period of time, it's going to really deplete my copper levels, okay? So if I'm going to take zinc for a long period of time, unless I have too much copper, I want to take something like balanced zinc, which has copper with zinc. If I take a lot of calcium and I don't take any magnesium, well, it's going to push magnesium levels down, and calcium's going to end up in the arteries. Not a good thing, right? So if I take an antiparasitic drug and sometimes an antibacterial, it can disturb the delicate balance of natural, innate gut bacteria. So leukocytes are a good sign of that. Leukocytes are an immune-based cell, type of white blood cell, that's in the stool that is probably a little higher than normal. So again, I can't tell you what to do. You haven't run a stool test through us, most likely. So I don't know about yeast overgrowth. I don't know about bacterial overgrowth. I don't know about H. pylori. I don't know about any of these things. But if it is this, we typically do the children's CBO protocol. And you'll probably want to work with a health practitioner, integrative health practitioner, or one of our EcoLife coaches. But you can certainly find that at stephencabral.com/EcoLife. That's EQUILIFE. And you can just search for children's CBO, okay? And that will at least get you started to rebalance that gut. Crystal is up next, and our last question for the day. Hi, Dr. Paul. My question is a bit threefold, so thank you in advance for your review and guidance. I delivered identical twin boys at 33 and a half weeks, resulting in a 23-day NICU stay. One of my twins was required to be on a CPAP for lung support. This twin is constantly contracting RSV. The first time, needing hospitalization for oxygen support. I've been told asthma may be inevitable, so I would like to strengthen his lungs, immunity, and try to prevent further complications down the line. My other son is frequently battling eczema. Both, who are now 2, have been diagnosed with a minimal stove 2 egg allergy and have been advised they will grow out of it. I've noticed that by removing dairy and gluten, the eczema clears up. Wondering if there are any connections between both twins or if they are requiring separate treatments. Appreciate your suggestions. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. So let's talk about first things first. So for those people that don't know so obviously both twins were born significantly early. So their developmental systems did not get to develop inside of their mom as long as they would have ideally been able to. But through the power and beauty of conventional medicine, which, by the way, I give conventional medicine its due all the time. and its due is during acute-based circumstances. So amazing that we're able to help these two premature-based deliveries, right? Okay, one of the children, lung-based issues, constantly contracting, or at least when in the hospital, respiratory, I don't know if the word, I believe, I'm trying to recall right now, is syncytial, something like that virus. So this is a virus that basically causes coughing, wheezing, inflammation of the lungs, right? And one of the twins has maybe weaker lungs, at least for right now. Now, the good news is, as the children get older, we will be able to do much more. We'll be able to look at, okay, how is the gut functioning now? What do their mineral and vitamin levels look like? Let's start to ease them into more sports and exercise to strengthen those lungs as early as we can. Things like soccer, things such as, going for a jog, like even for little kids, just for a little bit, like running, sports, playing, but keeping them active, breathing, working on those things are all going to be really important. I don't know about asthma being inevitable. Asthma really is an norepinephrine, adrenaline, calcium, magnesium-based issue. A lot of that can be corrected. It honestly can. So I wouldn't be overly worried about that part. Now let's get to the food sensitivities. I would not recommend cow's milk, dairy, gluten, or eggs for either of these children, because there's just so many downsides to it that you're obviously seeing with eczema, and it clears up when they don't eat it. So don't do it, right? And again, some of the tough love I just want to share. Don't do that. In the future, you'll do a food sensitivity after the age of 3, and they might be able to have goat and sheep-based cheese or milk or whatever you'd like to do. And you can even try that now if you wanted to. But again, I think really removing the eggs and the gluten for right now is the best way to go. So again, I can't give you any medical diagnosis here, but hopefully that was helpful. I appreciate everyone writing in and all of you tuning in. I am happy to answer your questions at any time. Appreciate you. Thank you again so much. I'll be back tomorrow answering 6 more of our community's questions.